your next witness, please?
State calls Rico Fernandez.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear to affirm the testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just trying to fit in the chair.
Good morning. Can you please introduce yourself to the members of the jury?
My name is Sergeant Zuleika Fernandez. I'm with Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office
And how long have you been with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office?
since 2006.
And is that formally known as the Miami-Dade Police Department?
Sorry?
Is that formally known as the Miami-Dade Police Department?
Yes.
It's the same department?
Yes.
Different names?
Yes.
And what unit do you work in?
Currently,
Yes.
in the Kendall District, so I'm in uniform patrol at the moment.
Do you have a specialized role in the unit?
I'm a sergeant, so I'm the sergeant right now in Kendall District on midnights.
Do you work in video retrieval?
I did at one
Okay,
point,
you
yes.
Now, I want to take you all the way back to June 25th of 2022. Did you work in that video retrieval unit then?
I did.
Okay. And what were your duties in that unit?
My duty was basically to respond whenever detectives from different bureaus would contact us to export video evidence for their case.
Okay. In order to be in that unit and to retrieve those things, do you get any kind of specialized training?
Yes.
Can you briefly explain to the members of the jury what that training is?
So I went to Dorothy Stout training. It's a 3-day course, which actually it teaches you how to export videos from different systems. And then we had LEVA, which is, there's 4 different LEVAs. I went to LEVA 1, and that one is a little bit more in depth. It actually shows you how to go into the hard drives in case that you're not able to actually export video the native way. So then you would basically go into the hard drive and try to get the video that way.
And would it be fair to say that based off your training that you get in the video retrieval unit, that you get specific trainings on different types of recording systems?
Different systems, completely. NVR, DVR, cloud-based systems, any type of system.
Okay. Now, I know we kind of already mentioned this already, but were you working in your capacity as a police officer in that video retrieval unit on or about June 25th of 2022?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Were you working in your capacity as a police officer in the video retrieval unit on or about June 25th, 2022?
Yes.
What about to June 29th, 2022?
I was still within the video forensic unit.
Okay. Now, before we move on to those dates, can you explain to the jury the process of actual video retrieval?
So normally what we do is we actually document everything about the DVR, from the serial numbers to the cameras that the system actually holds to the amount of cameras that are actually working at the time. If there is any offset, so if real time and offset do not match, we actually document that to show that even if we pull video for specific times, the reason we got that video at that time is because DVR time and real time were completely off. We document the earliest recording, so anything from if the incident occurred in May, but the actual DVR holds video until March. So you can go back all the way to March. We document the cameras and the actual times that the detectives request, and that's pretty much it.
And are you trained in the process of, let's say it doesn't work, if you're called out to a scene, it doesn't work there, are you trained in the process of, let's say, bringing it back to headquarters to retrieve it in a different way?
Yes, so if we're not able to export on scene, we obviously speak to the detectives first, let them decide. We'll let them know in that moment, hey, it's not working, we're not able to export on scene. However, we do have DVR examiner back in the office, so we could plug it straight into the hard drive and try that method.
Can you explain to the members of the jury what that DVR examiner is?
DVR examiner allows you to go into the hard drive and export the entire thing, so the entire data on the actual hard drive.
Now, does it work for every single unit, or are there sometimes failures?
No, there's definitely failures. A lot of times when you get hard drives, either they're already failing or they're corrupted. And if you plug it in, it's the same thing as a USB. A lot of the times they get damaged over time.
Now, on June 29, 2022, did you respond to 1300 Northwest 15th Street?
Yes.
Why did you do that?
I was requested by homicide detectives to respond.
And do you know who the owner of that home was?
Personally, no. I don't.
But did you know his name?
Cisnero?
Is that a Robert Cisneros?
I'm not sure.
Is there anything that would refresh your recollection?
I could look at my report and see.
If you can, don't just look up when you're done.
Yeah,
refresh
Robert
your
Cisneros.
Great, thank you. Did you make contact with him?
I didn't. I made contact with the detectives. The detectives were the ones making contact with him.
Okay. What, if anything, did you do after arriving on scene?
Once they allowed me to access the DVR, that's exactly what I did. I went straight to the DVR and I started working on trying to get the export.
Okay. Did the homeowner give you consent, or did you have to get a warrant to get that DVR?
I would have to look at my.
Please.
So it looks like it was verbal.
Verbal consent.
Verbal consent.
Okay. Now, can you explain to the members of the jury what DVR system Mr. Cisneros had?
So he had a Shield DVR, which is it's a regular CCTV system. It's not cloud-based. It's not MVR. There is no client, anything like that. It was just a basic DVR system.
Was it an older model, newer model, if you knew?
I wouldn't know that information.
Is this a model that you were familiar with?
Yes.
Can you explain to the members of the jury what that DVR had, like in order for you to download it?
To export?
Yeah.
So normally with that system, you would go to their main menu, and you would either look for the backup or the export option of the system. So the route that we were going to take that day was USB, which would be the native export.
Did it have a USB port that you could plug in to download?
Yes.
Were you able to download it on scene?
No.
Why not?
For whatever reason, when I went, the dates were available and the system actually went back to April. However, when I went to go back to the times to actually export the times, for whatever reason, the times were not available.
Okay, but the date was?
Date was.
Was there any evidence of any kind of tampering anyway with that system when you were viewing it?
No, because for me to say that there was tampering, I would have to say that the entire hard drive was completely wiped out or formatted.
Can you explain that to the members of the jury? What do
So,
you mean by that?
with DVR systems, you can't go back and delete just one incident or one day or 1 hour, 2 hours. When you format a hard drive within the DVR, it completely wipes out the entire hard drive, meaning everything will just disappear. And in that case, the date was available, everything went back to April, which means that nothing happened. There was no way it was formatted.
Okay. Now, before we move on, were there specific days or times of interest that you were attempted to cover?
Yes, if I could look back on my
Please.
report though. So they wanted June 25th, 2022, 3 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Now, were you able to confirm at the time before you were trying to retrieve that video that the DVR itself was in working order?
The DVR was working. Yeah.
Now, when you said that you weren't unable to download it via a USB, what, if anything, did you do next?
Once I wasn't able to export, I let the detectives on scene know. And at that point, I believe they received consent from the owner to take the DVR for further examination.
Did you take possession of the DVR?
I did.
And where'd you go with it?
Once I get the DVR, I take it back to the office.
And what did you do at the office with that DVR?
At the office, I plug it into DVR Examiner, and at that point, I attempted to conduct DVR Examiner on it, and for whatever reason, the actual hard drive was not scanning. It wasn't even allowing me to get to the point where I could export or even request to export.
Can you explain a little bit more what that means?
So I would plug it in to DVR Examiner. I would scan the DVR to actually pick up the hard drive, but it wasn't picking up the hard drive at all.
Was there any evidence of any kind of tampering when you were doing that?
No,
Why not?
because I couldn't even get to the hard drive.
So the fact that you couldn't get to the hard drive was evidence itself that there was no tampering?
To me, evidence enough that the actual hard drive was damaged or somehow corrupt because I was never even able to enter it. into it. I was never even able to get into it enough to do anything.
Okay. What after that? Did you inform anybody that their video was unable to be recovered?
Yes, detectives. Detective Gunoris.
Chinoris.
Sir, yes.
And what, if anything, did you do with the DVR after that?
Once I let them know what was going on, I just let them know the DVR is ready to be picked up. I documented everything, and that was it.
When DVRs are in this manner returned, either because they cannot download those videos or things like that, is it a likely outcome, possible outcome, that everything gets wiped from those DVRs?
So normally when we return the DVRs, we never plug them back in. And the reason for that is because if you plug it back in and there is, for whatever reason, data on there or anything like that, that they will need later down the line, if you plug it back in, it normally resets the hard drive altogether. So a lot of times we don't do that because just in case the detective says, hey, we need more time or we need to pull extra time, we just got more information. So we don't plug it in for that reason.
Did you purposely delete any video in this case?
No.
Is there any evidence that anyone purposely deleted any kind of video in this case?
No.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, ma'am, I just wanted to clarify, because you said a few moments ago that you were asked about tampering, and I believe you said tampering would show that the entire hard drive was wiped. Am I quoting you correctly?
If you're asking if certain times were deleted from the hard drive,
Right.
you can't delete just 1 hour or 2 hours or 1 day. When you format a hard drive, it'll format the entire thing, which means I will not be able to go back to April 29, 2022, which was the earliest recording on this DVR.
So just so I understand you, so you're saying if somebody were to tamper with a DVR hard drive such as this one, that would result in everything being deleted?
Yes,
Okay.
because it's a hard drive within the DVR and it's not NVR or any other, there's no other method to actually extract or delete any video.
All right. As far as you know, when you took the hard drive into possession, the footage on it, it had footage on it, correct?
There was footage, but not the footage that the detectives were looking for. So the time frame that they were looking for was not there.
Okay. So I want to pinpoint exactly when it was that you took possession of this item.
When I took the DVR,
Yes.
so I was there at 9:21 a.m. So somewhere around that time
This is
on
on
the 29th, June 29th.
June 29th. You arrived at the home
Correct.
of the owner of the home who had the DVR.
Yes.
Who else was there when you arrived?
Detective Gunoris and Detective Morales.
And you said that you didn't make contact with the owner of the home, correct?
I don't make contact with the owners.
So you only interacted with those detectives.
Correct.
And it was the detectives and not the owner of the home who gave you the DVR, correct?
No, the DVR was on scene.
Okay, so you watched some videos on the scene?
No, I don't watch videos. I only export the videos that they're requesting.
Did you unplug anything?
I unplugged the DVR once I noticed that it was no longer an option to export on scene. And they advised that they gave consent and that they want to take it to the office.
Without telling me the contents or what it is that you saw, if anything, did you see anything, any footage from that DVR before unplugging?
No.
No. Okay. So how is it that you know that, well, you said, so you weren't talking about what's on the DVR. You just tried to download it on scene and you were not able to do that, correct?
Correct.
And that's when you took it with you,
Correct.
correct? So is it fair to say that you yourself weren't able to verify what videos were or were not on the DVR at that moment? Because you didn't see anything.
I didn't view any video.
Okay, so you can't say what videos were or were not on the DVR at that moment?
No.
All right, thank you. You get back to the station, and at the station you find what, that there are no videos on the DVR?
No, when I got back to the station and I plugged it into DVR Examiner, it will not scan the hard drive. So I was never able to pick up the hard drive to get to the export.
You couldn't get into the hard drive?
No.
Were any attempts made to, rather than get into the hard drive, to at least view what was on the hard drive through another screen or another monitor?
No.
Why not?
Because I went through the export option to try to get the times that they wanted, and it said no record, no data, so the times are not there.
So, from your perspective, when you checked, are you saying that there was no video for you to watch, even if you could watch the video?
I wouldn't go back to watch the video. I only export.
I understand, but your goal is to download these videos to be watched so that you can watch them at a later time, correct?
No.
What do you mean?
I don't watch the videos. I only export the video and then I provide it as evidence to the detectives.
Let me rephrase. Your goal is to get this video so that somebody, like a jury, can watch this video at a later time, right?
For me, it's for the detectives. I don't do anything as far as the case goes. I get the video, whatever it is that they ask for, camera, dates, times. I get that video, I put it onto a USB, and then I would put it onto a disk. Then at that point, that's the evidence.
Let me rephrase my question. Let's assume that the detectives asked you to do this because they wanted to have a video, which is evidence, which they could later arrange that video to be played in front of a jury or a judge at a trial,
Okay.
right? Okay? So your purpose was to get that video so that they can use it later, right?
Yes.
You tried to download it for that purpose, and you weren't able to because, as far as you can tell, the DVR didn't have any data on it, correct?
It had data. It just wasn't exporting the dates and times that they were asking for.
All right. So you couldn't export it. However, you know that the detectives were able to watch some of the video before it was taken from the owner's home, correct?
Normally, when they ask us to come out, it's because they've already reviewed video.
Okay. So we know that it was working and you could see videos on it before it was taken from the owner's home, right?
What was that, sorry?
We know that this DVR has footage which the detectives supposedly had already seen, and that's the reason why they're sending you to retrieve it, right?
Yes.
You're not able to retrieve it.
No.
So wouldn't it be effective to plug in that DVR, which you're not able to get anything from, plug it into a monitor to see if you could still play the videos, just like the detectives had done back at the person's home?
It would have been the same thing. I'm just taking it from one monitor to another. What I was able to see on scene is the same thing that I was going to see back at the office.
Right, but you could see it, and then you could record it another way, right? Like
No.
a body-worn camera, or with a phone, or just record something so you preserve it as evidence, right?
There was no evidence. I was not able to export the dates and times that they were asking.
And I think we're not understanding each other. I understand that you couldn't download it, but my question is, your job is to retrieve this so that it could be watched later. We've established that, right? So you can't download it. So as an alternative to accomplish your task, my question to you is, isn't it true that you could have found a monitor, plugged in the DVR, play the video that you're looking for, and record it with another device, such as the body-worn camera that you're wearing, take out a phone, record it in any other way, and that way we have a recording of the evidence this evidence which pertains to a murder case. Isn't that a solution to the problem?
Are you asking about playback?
Yes.
Like to actually play the video?
Yes, ma'am.
My job is not to play back the video. My job was to respond and export the video.
Okay.
He's asking, did you have the option of playing it?
The playback option is there. But my reason for responding was to export the video. And when I went to export and it will not be exported, at that point we took the DVR back to the office.
All right, so all those other options that I just explained to you, none of that was done, correct?
No.
and at some point the DVR was returned to the owner, correct?
Yes.
And if the owner, when he got the DVR back, found that everything had been erased, can you explain how something like that could happen?
If I run DVR Examiner, like I said, I don't plug the hard drives back in for that reason, because it usually resets the hard drive or wipes it out completely.
So
once
you wouldn't have wiped it out completely?
No,
Right.
no.
So if we have a DVR that was in this home, and this DVR had about a month's worth of footage on it, then it's taken from the home, and then sometime later it's returned to the home, and now when it's at the home, it's working fine, but all that month-long footage is gone. How do you explain that? How does something like that happen?
I can only tell you that I unplug the DVR, plug it into DVR Examiner, and normally when we plug it back in, which is the reason why we don't do it, we don't plug the DVRs back in when we return them in case detectives need more data later. Normally when you plug it back in, it formats and resets the hard drive.
So is it fair to say that as you sit here, you are not able to tell us how it was that a month's worth of footage was lost while it was in police custody? You're not able to tell us how that happened?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Detective, just to clarify, when you plug in the DVR to DVR Examiner, you do not plug it in again, right?
No.
And that's because why?
We don't want to plug it back in case the detectives need more data later on. If we plug it back in, it formats and resets the hard drive.
And so the hard drive then would be blank
Correct.
because it's been reset.
Correct.
So when a homeowner gets a blank DVR, or excuse me, a DVR back and plugs it back in, it would reset,
It will cause the reset or the format of the hard drive.
which would delete everything.
Yes.
Great. I have no further questions, Your Honor. I'm going to go sidebar.
You can shut down.
Judge, at this time, the state calls Robert Cisneros back to the bench.
Is the last officer, excuse me, no, no, she is, yes. Okay.
Mr. Carroll, come back in. You're still under oath from yesterday.
Okay.
So come on back in. Thank you. All right, State, go ahead.
Yes, Judge. Good morning, Mr. Cisneros.
Good morning.
So I want to go back to where we kind of left off yesterday.
Okay.
You mentioned that the police came to your house to ask for your cameras.
Yes.
Did you view those cameras with the detectives while they were playing it?
Yes.
Did you still time?
Yes.
Can you please tell the jury what it is that you saw in that footage?
Same objection.
It's the same. Lay the foundation.
Understood, Judge. Mr. Cisneros, before we get into what you saw, did the officers try and download the video that you viewed together at your house?
I believe that was their original intention, yes.
Were they able to download it?
No, they were not.
Do you know why they weren't able to download it?
Not exactly. No, I'm under the assumption it's because like I mentioned before, the device is an older device.
Sorry, can you say that again?
That why they were able to download it, I'm not exactly sure. Just maybe the programming wasn't compatible. I can't really say for sure.
At some point, did someone come and try to take your DVR to get that video?
Yes,
Did you give him the DVR?
yes, I handed the DVR.
Is
I'm
this
sorry,
his,
the last part? You're soft spoken.
Oh, I'm sorry. I handed the DVR. Yeah.
was there any evidence of tampering with the DVR before you gave it to the detectives?
No,
When the detectives were viewing your video, did you see them mess with the DVR at
No.
any point?
no,
Did they try to delete the video?
no,
Did they try to tamper with it?
no,
Did they cut a cable?
no.
Did you cut a cable?
I did not cut any cables. No,
Did you try to tamper with it?
no, I did not.
When the detective came to retrieve your DVR, did you give it to them?
Yes.
Were they able to retrieve the video?
As far as I know, no. When it was in their possession, no.
When you got the DVR back, were there any videos on it?
No,
Was there any evidence of tampering when you got it back?
no.
Judge, may we go sidebar?
No, let's continue.
Now, Mr. Cisneros, I want to talk about that video.
Okay.
What did you see in the video?
Same objection.
Oh, you can answer.
When we got to the time frame that the detective wanted to look at, I know it's in the middle of the night. I can't recall the exact time. We witnessed a person that he was interested in running from the property directly behind mine, because that property, there's no fencing, so anybody can just come in and out of that property. And I have an alleyway behind my property. It's one of those old type alleyways where garbage used to get picked up behind the houses. He's running towards the fence, towards my fence. Obviously, I have a 6-foot wooden fence, so I couldn't keep going. So then he changes direction and goes, I want to say, in an easterly direction. Goes out of view of the camera. A few seconds, maybe a minute later, he's more like not running anymore. It's more like stumbling. And then he drops out of view. Just keep in mind, I have a 6-foot fence, so anything on the ground in the alleyway, you can't really see it, but you can see individuals walking back and forth and also vehicles.
So I want to break that down. You mentioned that the individual the detectives were interested in was running.
Yeah, initially.
He was running towards where?
He ran, my house faces north, so he was running towards the back of my house, so he was running in a northerly direction, and then changes direction and goes easterly down the alleyway, out of view of the camera. And then a few seconds later, he comes back, but stumbling now, he's not running anymore.
You mentioned he was stumbling. Did he appear to be injured?
Judging from my experience as a firefighter, the way he was stumbling, yeah, he did appear like he was injured.
And when he stumbled, what area did he stumble in, based on the video you saw?
He fell right behind my property, more on the easterly side of the end of my property, but in the alleyway.
And what else did you see in the video?
Maybe a few minutes or 10 minutes go by, there's a vehicle that approaches.
You mentioned 10 minutes go by.
Well, just
More or less.
just generalization. Yeah, I like, again, any kind of time that I give you, it's generalization because it's.
So some time goes by, a vehicle approaches. What else do you see?
We see a female get out of the vehicle, approach the area where the subject had dropped, and I don't have any sound on my camera, so can't hear what's verbally being said. And the female paces back and forth several times until I believe a Homestead police officer arrives.
Does she ever get back into the car in the video you reviewed?
To the best of my recollection, I believe she did. But I don't believe she left the area. But then again, the angle of my camera only faces one direction. She did go out of view several times, but
She went out of view of the camera?
yeah.
When she goes back into view, do you see her try and approach the male that you saw stumbling?
Yes, she did.
Were you able to see what she was doing?
No, unfortunately, no.
Why not?
Because the height of my fence blocks any view of the ground level.
What was the female that you saw in the video doing after she approaches the male that stumbled?
The best I can describe it, she looked maybe emotionally distraught, A couple of times she put, or maybe a few times she put her hands on her head, and the way I best can describe it is her pacing back and forth. It looked like she was upset.
And did you see when the police arrived in the video?
Yeah, I can't see when the police officer arrived.
Was she still there in the alleyway?
Yes.
Moment to confer, Judge. No further questions.
Let's see if there's any cross-examination.
Good morning again, sir.
Morning.
Now, these videos that you observed with the detectives, you all were focusing on a specific period of time, correct?
Yes.
And that would have been, I guess, after this man had already been shot, that would have been after that period of time, correct?
Yes.
You didn't have a chance to view footage that would have occurred before that may or may not have shown him running around or doing what have you, correct?
No.
But that footage would have been there because you had, I think you said you had about a month's worth of footage on there, correct?
Yeah, the cameras record 24 hours a day.
And that month's worth of footage was there at the time that the police took your DVR, correct?
Yes.
And you said you got it back, what, a couple of weeks later?
Yeah,
More or
again,
less.
time frame wise, it was a while. Yeah,
Got it back, and when you got it back, there was nothing.
correct.
So when you got it back, did you, well, you didn't erase anything because you had nothing to erase.
No,
Did you reset the machine?
no, I did not.
Okay. Do you have any idea how that month's worth of footage got erased?
I can only speculate that since it's an older device, if it's not plugged into power, it eventually the hard drive just deletes the images.
But I mean, you don't know that, right?
But not for sure. No, I can't say for sure.
Okay. And as far as it being not plugged into power, well, I mean, you don't know how that works. That you're speculating that if you unplug this machine, you don't know what happens, right?
Correct. Yeah.
But the machine did work when you plugged it back in, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And it continued doing what it was supposed to do, keeping footage, saving it.
Yes.
At any given time, you've got about a month's worth of footage
Yes.
before it starts recording over
Yeah.
old footage.
Yeah. Correct.
All right, sir, thank you.
Yes, Judge. Mr. Cisneros, how far does your camera that faces the alleyway, what's the width and length that it captures? Like, how far does it capture out?
It'll capture where my property ends in reference to the alleyway. It'll capture individuals or vehicles passing through the alleyway.
Only through the alleyway?
Well, it's mainly focused, like I mentioned, my yard is very small. It's only 5 feet from the back of the house to the fence line. So the whole purpose is just to focus on my property in case there's any trespassers or for whatever reason. But since it has a wide view, it does record, it'll see anything in the alleyway. But that's not its intended purpose. It's mainly just to keep an eye on my property in the back.
Now, this incident happened at 1237 Northwest 14th Street. Can you tell us how close that address is to your house?
We're on the same block. My house is on 15th Street, and then that address is right behind us.
Would your cameras capture all the way to that house?
No, there's heavy shrubbery, trees. The only thing you can see is just trees. There's really nothing, you can't really see anything past that point.
So it wouldn't have captured, even if it wanted to, it wouldn't have been able to capture it?
No, not past that point, no.
Judge, permission to retrieve what's already been admitted into evidence as states 6. Mr. Cisneros, can you show, permission to step down, Judge, the witness? Permission for the witness. Can you show the jury where your house is in reference to the alleyway?
My house is this.
So when you mention your cameras only captured here?
Yes, there's a doorway here, and cameras are difficult to tell, but this is actually it right here, and pretty much this is what it seems.
Now, are you able to say what direction, when you viewed that video, the male was running?
Here, it came out of this area, the angle of the camera actually seen here. So it looked like it came from this general direction, and then he ran this way. Came from this direction, came in the view of the camera around here, and then he ran this way. Like I said, he disappeared for about a minute, and he comes stumbling back, and he actually, this is a canopy of a tree, but my camera can see underneath it. And it drops around here.
And then where does the female that you see in the video approach from with the vehicle?
I believe there was this general direction, because since it was dark, the headlights illuminated this entire area. So that vehicle was there the entire time. And then she walks in initially, then just paces back and forth several times until the first police officer arrives.
Thank you. You can step down. Were you able to see in the video if she was ever on the phone or anything?
No, I can't say for sure. Like I mentioned before, she goes out of view of the camera several times, so it's possible.
Thank you, Judge. No further questions.
You can step down. Alright, folks, I need to take about a 10-minute break before we go on to the next witness. We'll probably go till about 12:30 today, and then we'll take our break at 12:30. So let's just go back into the jury in about 10 minutes.
All right, for the jurors.
Thank you.